Yeah, hey, Neal Brennan of the Champs. Here's some. I'm going to be in Charlotte, New Brunswick, New Jersey at the Stress Factory, and in Baltimore. So come see me at either three of those. Moshe?
NealBrennan.com.
NealBrennan.com, yeah.
Hey, it's Moshe, guys. My book comes out on March the 28th. I'm going to be doing a book signing at the Grove, the Barnes & Noble on the 28th, and at Book Soup on the 30th. And from there, I'm going all over the country on a big worldwide tour, or a countrywide tour all over. So please go to MosheKasher.com, see all my dates. I'm probably coming to a city near you.
Spit some cities real quick.
I got San Francisco, St. Louis, Bloomington, Indiana, Chicago, Detroit, Austin, Texas, Seattle,
Portland,
Vancouver. And I would love it if you bought the book. If every listener in the Champs buys the book, I'll have a bestseller, and you will change my life. Come on, fuck with your boy.
Here's the bad news. If he has a bestseller, he will no longer do the show.
I will, too. It's called Kasher and the Rye. Go get it.
Yeah, Kasher and the Rye, and it's been very well reviewed so far.
Indeed it has.
Yo, now you're fucking with your main boy, Douggpound. Yo, what's up? Your number one champ is in the mic. I'll be at Bridgetown Comedy Fest in Portland, April 12th through April 15th.
Now you're fucking with the champs.
No, it's stupid.
It's kind of pretty, right?
Oh, nice.
You're fucking. Now you're fucking with the champs.
Beautiful, man.
Fuck, God. I don't even want to talk. I don't want to listen.
Sit and listen to Doug's soundscapes.
I just want to grab a barrel. Grab a barrel and throw it at a Donkey Kong at me. That's all I want to do. Ladies and gentlemen,
a journey, Doug.
You're fucking with the champs.
Fucking with the champs.
Yeah, hey, it's the champs. This is Neal Brennan.
Y'all.
That's Moshe. Go ahead.
This is Moshe Kasher. Can you tell the difference between me and Neal's voice yet?
I feel like I'm going to be a little high tonight.
All right, and I feel a little low.
Yeah.
And this is Doug.
that's old man Doug.
I'm trying to do Neal, but that was so bad.
Oh, that was real
that?
bad.
Oof,
for
Hey,
sure.
my name's Neal
Brennan?
Neal Brennan.
Is that your me impression?
Yeah, that was my Neal and Brennan.
Like all the time or just now?
Like this is my Neal impression.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It's not. I mean,
you're hearing
God
some
bless you.
infighting. Well, we have we never disappoint. This podcast never disappoints. We got these great guests. Tonight's guest, you know him from the television program Key and Peele, and also from Mad TV.
But really, Key and Peele.
Really now, yes.
I mean, but really, even did people know you from Mad TV?
Was it? No, not anymore. That went away. No, still young Hispanic boys. That's the
that's
weird
who loves you?
12-year-old Hispanic boys. Hey, Coach Hines. Hey, Coach Hines. I get that. I still get that.
Is that? Oh, that was your character.
That was the character. That was the biggest character I played on Mad TV.
Coach Hines?
Coach Hines. Yeah. Who was he was your coach? Every coach that everybody ever had. Remember the guy that like super uber aggressive dude. You know, get out there!
Do I look like I had coaches? It's Keegan-Michael Key, ladies and gentlemen.
Keegan-Michael
I almost did it.
Key. I think on
did it.
iTunes, I'm just going to put Key.
Just put Key in there.
Key.
Well, actually, that's interesting. You are in danger of becoming Key because of the name of your show.
No, already.
Key.
It's already happened.
It's happened. No. He's right. No, everybody, and you know what we did? We fucked up. We fucked up everything in the first season. We never said our last names. So every episode. Every episode we say, I'm Jordan and I'm Keegan and welcome to Key and Peele. Never once have I said I'm Keegan-Michael Key.
Oh, right.
So when you walk down the street, people just go, Key and Peele, Key and Peele.
They call you both Key and
They
Peele.
just try to cover all the bases. You got to cover all the
It's
bases.
David Allen Greer doing a character that says it, too.
Right.
Yeah.
Key and Peele. And Dag, I love Dag.
Last night.
And a little turned on.
I'm a little turned on. Last night, my episode of Shameless aired.
Oh shit! Oh, good for
And it was
you.
super exciting. I played have I ever told you the role that I played? I played a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Now your
That felt
shameless plug.
disrespectful.
No, you talked about it on here a couple times.
Yeah, well, I play a deaf, gay, a hospice patient who's in a wheelchair and is dying, and in the crescendo of my scenes, they smoke crack with me out of my tracheotomy hole.
I got a crack story.
You do? Go ahead.
Go.
So when I was 19, I was stage managing a play, and didn't need to say that. It has nothing to do with the story. I was driving down the street and I went to the discount fucking auto
stay in
store.
college.
And the guy.
Off the crack.
Is that really a drop? Fuck you, Doug.
That's a minor
Where
drop.
did you get that?
That's one of the minor drops.
A guy stops me and says, "Can you help me out? Can you help me out, brother? Can you take me to like a shelter where I can go get some help at a church or something?" And that was the day I decided.
This is in Michigan?
This is in Detroit.
Okay.
In Detroit.
Oh,
The fuck is
So
that really?
Detroit, it's safe to pick people up who want some help.
Now I was
Okay.
1 block north of Detroit.
Okay,
I was in
very good.
Ferndale, Michigan.
Very nice.
And I picked this guy up. And I tried to take him to the church, and I for some reason decided I was going to be a good Samaritan this day. It was the stupidest act I ever did in my life. Took him to church and knocked on the door. He can't get him. Took him to another church. Okay, can you take me over to the east side, over by State Fair?
Love it.
By West State Fair. West State Fair is pretty much Beirut.
Would he get out of the car?
He'd get out of the car. That's why I'm stupid.
Right, you
He'd
could've
get
left.
out, and I let.
You're an idiot. Put
Yeah.
your pants on, you schmuck.
And it was hot, and I was wearing shorts. How are you doing this, Doug?
Doug's a genius.
I'm just.
But I mean,
People hate on
carry
Doug's
on.
drops, but they're the best.
white
part of
guy.
this.
That makes me racist. White guy, so like I thought all of a sudden it was going to be okay.
Sure.
So he leaves the car when this
Oh,
neighborhood-
you picked him up because he was white?
No, because I was like,
that had to help.
right, how bad could it be?
Right.
How bad could it be? So we go to the east side. He fucking goes out of my car.
You want to get racist about it?
And I'm standing outside the back of my car with a tire iron, as if that's going to do anything. As if
Wait,
everybody.
I lost something. Why did you have the tire iron? You got nervous?
I got nervous.
Okay.
As if it was going to help. Everybody in every house on the block had a semi-automatic weapon.
Well, you could just very quickly go ting 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 ting.
Yeah, like Wonder Woman it.
Yeah.
And this guy comes down the street, and he goes, that didn't work out. And I said, what? And he said, we just got to go over to this house over here. And a fucking cut on his forehead. And I go, what happened there? They kind of beat the shit out of me. I'm sorry, they kind of beat the
So
shit out of
you went to 2 churches.
2 churches.
Then you went to a neighborhood.
He
got out.
Walks down the street.
How long was he gone when you were like, I need a tire?
I should. What I should have said at that moment, Neal, is I need to get in my car and drive away.
Yeah.
But I was determined to help this fucking poor white guy. He comes
Why
back
people
down the
have
street.
a hard time in this society?
It's tough. It's been
White kid,
tough.
a white moron.
That's
been really-
very, you know what? That's the white side of it.
That was the white side of me trying to help this
Going
white
like,
guy.
This is a guy who I can really help. I feel like
White kid, a white moron.
Help this guy. He gets in the car. We go down the street. Across the street, he goes like this. There's a fucking high sign, and this little kid, about 14 years old, in a big triple fat goose white coat. He fucking sticks his hand in this drainage pipe on the side of his house, and then comes over to my car. I roll down the window, passes some crack across to the guy. The guy literally says this. He goes, "I'll be back in 2 hours with 6 VCRs." I'll be back in 2 hours.
He's offering that as payment for the crack.
And
Awesome.
right at that moment, I'm 19 years old. At that moment, I went, "Oh, we're gonna get shot. Right, I'm gonna get killed
it.
right now. Like we're gonna get fucking
Goodbye.
executed right now." 6 VCRs. Yeah, boosh. They still had value. It was 1989. It was 1990. So it still had value. So we get in the car and I'm driving. I'm like, "Look, this is it. I'm gonna have to drop you off." I'm like, now I decide.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to drop you off. He goes, "Just okay in Oak Park." So I take him to Oak Park. It's a suburb of Detroit. I take him to Oak Park.
Crackheads always need to go places. It's true.
Yeah, they really have a lot of
like,
shit
can you
to
just take me to Coolidge and 9 Mile, and I go to Oak Park? So he does this. He fucking rummages around on my floor. He grabs a Shasta can.
Yeah, you're aging yourself.
And
right
he grabs,
now.
Shasta,
yeah.
grabs a fucking paper clip, punctured a hole in the can, and smoke. And so he's smoking crack in my
In your
78.
car.
In my 78. I didn't say LeBaron. My 78 LeSabre.
Uh-huh.
And here I am in my fucking 76 Buick LeSabre driving the street with this fucking white trash dude in my passenger street
Smoking crack.
Smoking crack. And a cop goes by and he's just I can't even. You can't. Why am I doing that? You can't.
Yeah.
Nobody can fucking see me.
He's leaning down
He's
in
leaning
his
down
chair.
in his chair. He's sitting on the floor and just smoking crack. And I finally, you got Steve. You gotta go. You gotta go. What came over me?
You stopped where?
I stopped him at a corner. I stopped him at Crooks, Coolidge Road, and 9 Mile. 8 Mile. I grew up on 8 Mile.
Uh-huh.
So a mile north of us, and they just the mile roads just keep going north. And I stopped him up, and he was like, "Thanks, man. Thanks for everything." Well,
Did you
first
go
of all,
like, Steve, where are you going to get 6 VCRs? What did you promise?
not to mention Steve. But thanks for everything. Technically I failed him.
Right.
Like we didn't get him any food. He didn't get any money.
Hey, you tried.
And not enough crack. Not enough crack.
You got some crack though.
He got a little
got
bit of crack.
something.
And he furnished a can into a
How
pipe.
much is 6 VCRs worth of crack? How big is that?
Dude, 2 little rocks.
And he jacked that dude. He jacked the crack dealer.
Oh, he
Ejaculate.
He ejaculated the crack dealer.
Ejaculate. He certainly. No, he absolutely did. I mean, I thought I was
crazy.
dead that day. I had my fucking. What was that?
Fucked up shit right there, man.
What's that Sting album? Or something. The Dream of Blue Turtles.
Dream
where
of
I had
Blue
these
Turtles,
Dream
yeah.
Blue Turtles sunglasses I had on at the time. My fucking Elder Barge hair.
What's
Like,
the
I
dream of
look
the
tough.
blue
What
What did you
turtle
have? You had,
sunglasses
like,
look
a
like?
treatment? You had like shit in
No,
it?
no, just like I would blow it out. I
Right.
tried to look like Prince.
Yeah.
You know, from a
Sure.
And I mean, there was nothing tough about me. I'm here in my car trying to look fucking tough. I'm like, what's up?
What's up? I got to blow it out.
Do you
I
know
gotta
that
blow it out.
if you quiz me on black hair, I don't know the first like
I'd win.
do you know?
Oh, yeah, for
I
sure.
don't know.
Would you
Like
win?
literally,
Yeah, I'd
if
win.
you were
What
like,
you got?
what does Prince do to his hair? If you had put like a wrench, a fucking
you put-
VCR.
And some moose.
And I don't
know which one to use.
I literally don't know how we go.
Well, Prince is Prince half white? He must be, right?
no, I think he's
no.
just a light-skinned black
He's
guy.
light, yeah.
He's just a light-skinned.
So for him-
well,
I
no,
mean,
no sun. It's Minnesota. No sun.
For him to have hair like that, he processed. He's got a process.
he had to process
What
it, and
does
then
that mean? I know the term,
yeah,
but I wouldn't know.
It's a chemical perm.
If there were just a bunch, meaning they put chemicals and then you just got to lay there. I know
Yeah.
from like Malcolm X.
Right,
No,
but
no,
that's-
that- yeah, and I've
that's
done
ghetto
that.
shit. That's like prison type of the conch or whatever. People don't really do that.
Not anymore. Well,
yeah.
I did. I had
I'll
to
be
straighten
honest,
my hair.
sometimes I wish I was black.
I had to straighten my hair, and I fucking. Why do I make these stupid decisions? I let a white woman do it. Now she was from Detroit, so it's almost
You've got
okay.
a very interesting
Sounds like you
relationship with
didn't do-
white people doing things that black people.
Sounds like you made a lot of
Black
shitty
people
decisions in Detroit.
I did in Detroit. Of all the places to make shitty decisions.
Yeah, right. Detroit itself can be a shitty decision at
When
times.
I found I'm adopted, and so when I found my birth mother, there's like certain, she'll never listen to this, so there's like certain stories that I've never told. I've never
not
told her
a
that.
Wait a
crap
second. That's
story.
a.
What?
Let's hear that
Let him
story.
go.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna hear it. When did you find your birth mother?
96.
Did you sneak up on her?
No, no.
What is the protocol?
No, in the state of Michigan, they open all the records. Anybody, they passed a new law in the 90s, and they open all the records. And so, if you wanted to find a birth parent, you could. And my mother, the woman who raised me, was a social worker. So she was always part of her life, doing adoption and foster care placement and stuff like that. The adoptive mother.
What was she? Black, white?
She was white. She was white, and my adoptive father was black. My biological mother was white. My biological father was black.
Oh, that's.
Did you have brothers and sisters that were adopted too?
So not adopted. Here's the thing. It's a weird thing. So my parents adopted me, then they had my brother naturally, and then my mom, my biological mom, she married a dude. And she had 4 kids.
Oh,
She
so you
had
got
4 other kids.
so you
She
have
kept the 4
kids.
kids.
Oh yeah, she was married. She had me. I was the accident. Then she got married and had 4 kids.
Did that fact weigh on your conscience and make you angry?
It did, but when I found her, we did this amazing thing. My mother was just really kind of highly evolved. She said, here's the thing. She lived in Fort Worth, Texas, and I lived in Detroit. And she said, I'm going to come up and spend time with you, and if you want. And I said, I absolutely want this.
Hey, I like it.
And, and I said, and she said, so we'll spend a week.
Did you bring condoms with you?
Oh, boy.
That was Doug, brother.
I will be quiet for finish your story.
No, 2 years. And so like
From put himself on probation. You know what? That was
That was too much.
that was too much. Too
I
much.
shouldn't have did that.
Steve is getting out of the car.
Was it January of 97 to June of 97. She came to visit me once a week, every month.
Wow.
She came to visit me a week every month, and we would just do whatever, hash shit out. She took me on a tour the first 10 days of my life. She kept me for 10 days before she gave me for adoption. First 10 days of my life. It was the most amazing 6 months of my life.
She
The first 10 days of your life.
Of my life, she kept me. She had no intention to give me up for adoption, and she.
But you were colicky.
and really, really fussy kid.
Yeah.
And she didn't know what to do, so she went to the nuns and gave the baby away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did she leave you in a basket?
She left me in a basket, a wicker basket.
A wigger
A
basket?
wigger.
A wicker. A wicker.
I was raised in a wigger basket myself. Interesting.
That is. I literally thought you said wigger.
A wigger basket.
Moshe brings his wigger basket to Trader Joe's. Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh man.
So you were raised in 8 Mile?
Yeah,
So
one
you're-
block south of 8 Mile.
You're a
Yep.
freestyle rapper?
I am.
You know
have to
Marshall?
be, right? That's
You
a-
know
that's
Marshall
a-
from back in the day?
And here's the fucking thing about Marshall.
Uh-oh.
Marshall's not.
Jay-Z,
first
please
name
turn off the
basis
podcast.
shit.
Marshall's not from Detroit. He's from Warren, Michigan, but I'm going to give him his props right now. A city a little more dangerous than Detroit. Wow. Yeah, it's just east of
It's in
Detroit.
Somalia?
It's right next to Mogadishu.
Very good.
Mogadishu, Michigan. And no, he's from the funny thing, that movie 8 Mile, my wife's a dialect coach and she worked on the movie. And she had to help what's his name? Fuck is the not I just want to keep saying Malik Yoba. What is his name? You know what I'm talking about.
What the fuck is his name?
What the fuck-
It's
you know-
Malik, right? Or-
No, it's
fucking Jesus.
Mackay Pfeiffer.
Intern for the win.
Yeah. So she was Mackay Pfeiffer's coach because she had to make him sound not like he was from New York, like he was from the Midwest.
Right.
But when we went to go see the movie, and I'm like, that's it.
Yeah.
Like that's it. They did it correctly.
Right.
Warren's fucking rough. The south part of this town, Warren, and the north side's idyllic. You know.
Did they? In the movie, was he from?
Well, I think in the movie they never mention it. He lived in a trailer park,
Right.
Doesn't
which
seem
isn't
Detroit-y,
Warren.
right?
It's not Detroit-y enough, but all the other stuff. I mean, they shot it there and everything was. I mean, it was right. They did a great job.
Pretty
But I
cool.
live just south of 8 Mile, in Woodward Avenue, which is a big
Did you grow up
street.
in a bad neighborhood or a good neighborhood?
No, I grew up in a nice neighborhood. Like people would drop me off at home and go, "Oh, you live in a nice subdivision," and that's when I'd fucking punch them in the dick.
Yeah.
I don't live in a subdivision. I live in the city of Detroit. So your fucking white racist parents, who never come here anymore, tell them to fuck off.
No, I always say that when I meet white people that say they're from Detroit, I always go, Detroit? Because they never,
Liars.
it's not true. They
Liars.
from
They're
Detroit.
from Bloomfield Hills or whatever.
Bloomfield Hills or Birmingham. Yeah. There's no place quite like it.
So now your birth mother still lives in.
She lives in Fort Worth, Texas.
Okay.
My adoptive mother, who I'm going to be seeing this weekend, actually, I'm going to go do a charity event in Detroit.
Oh, cool.
And she lives in Detroit. We lived in the same house in '78.
It's to benefit guns, correct?
It is to benefit the purchase and cleaning and the proper cleaning of handguns.
No, it's called the Society for the Benefit of Steve, and it's money
It's just
raised
for
for
Steve.
Steve's crack.
It's just for Steve.
I'm actually going to be in Detroit at that Museum of Modern Art on the 21st of April doing a book event. For those of you that are listening in the Detroit area, you should come. And I'm doing a book event in comedy in a installation that was built by the guy that built Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yes.
It's gonna be so interesting and weird.
Detroit?
In Detroit,
And when you go back, if you can go to Heidelberg Street, because Heidelberg Street, it's a street on the east side of Detroit that has one block, and the whole block is an art installation.
Oh, cool.
The entire block, every house, and every piece of lawn, and the sidewalks are lined. It's all found art, and the whole street is art.
That's
it's
so
pretty cool. Yeah, no, you're right. It's like you would dig it, Neil. Like you're the kind of person who'd really dig the vibe of
like
it.
a real artist.
Yes, a real artist.
No, you would actually like Detroit. Yeah.
I believe I would.
Doug, you would not like Detroit. No, I'm kidding. You would like it too.
I've been to Detroit.
I think
Doug
it's
would
a
like
cool
Royal Oak.
place, man. I think it's just a cool place.
Thanks for saying that emotion about the white people. That makes me nuts
It's
when they
true,
say
yeah.
no. You go. My friend who's white, but he owns the best restaurant, like the most popular restaurant in the city of Detroit. He and his brother went to high
Popeye's
school.
fried chicken.
Neil was in the fucking starter blocks. Swoosh.
Come on, fucking challenge.
Swoosh.
You want to get racist about it?
This is batting
So what are we
practice
doing?
tonight.
Beautiful.
It's not even
Softball.
challenge. I mean, this is
love
some
it.
beginner stuff.
Yeah, I love it.
No, that's good
What's
stuff.
the name of the restaurant?
Slow's Barbecue.
Okay.
Slow's Barbecue.
Oh, it is barbecue, too.
Hey, you were
kind
pretty
of
close.
off.
You're like,
That's funny.
which is actually down the street from a Popeyes in a White Castle.
What?
I think this is the funniest man that I've ever seen in my life.
Your story reminded me of a story I just heard about a dude who he frequents Craigslist ride shares. You know what that is?
No, wait. Oh yeah.
You want to conserve money.
Free
so
rides across.
Yeah, you'll either pick someone up or you'll get a ride.
Oh, you get a ride.
Is this a cross country or they do regional?
They
ones?
do all
over.
Well, not like can you take me from Silver Lake to Venice?
Take me to
but
eight-
Right.
eight mile-
yeah. It's all Steve. Every ad is
8 Mile to Crooks.
Steve.
I just need to go on the east side for a minute over off West State Fair Boulevard.
That shit didn't work out. I got to put another ad up on Craigslist.
So
I'm gonna try not to get hit in my fucking head.
this dude he picks people up and he to get riders because he wants the experience and he wants whatever. So he puts an ad up. He says, I'm going from Portland to LA, and somebody hits him up immediately. I could really use the ride. And he's like, okay, I'll come pick you up right now. I'm leaving. And she goes, okay, well, I need to tell you, like, I don't. No, he shows up and she goes, I need to tell you, like, I'm sorry, I don't have any money.
Oh,
and
no.
he's like, you know what? It's all good. Just get in. I could use the company. Just jump in. She's like kind of like this kind of weird hippie kind of like mess of a person.
Yeah.
So they're driving.
Shut up, hippie.
Yeah, exactly. So they're driving, and she's like, weird and being really strange. And they get to this gas station, and she's like, I don't have any money. Can you buy me some food? And he buys her food.
No.
They go a little further. They get to another gas station.
Steve's sister.
And she goes, uh-oh. And she looks down, and she's like, she said she's bled all over his car seat. She got her period. She doesn't have tampons. She goes, I'm so sorry. She's like dabbing it with a napkin. And he's like, ugh. And she goes, I need a tampon. And she goes, I don't have any money. Can you buy me tampons?
Oh my
He's like got blood on his car. He's like, here's the money. She goes, she gets tampons. She puts them in. They keep driving. Now it's like silent and weird. They get,
Think that it wasn't like she didn't put blood pellets in her vagina.
like a vampire pill.
Squibs.
She didn't put
vagina squibs.
Pussy squib.
So they're about 60 miles outside of LA, and she just goes, thank you so much. This is so nice of you. This is so kind of you. Thank you. I'm sorry about everything. She goes, I have to suck your dick.
Oh no, she didn't.
I just have to suck your dick.
And he was like, you're right.
And this is the question that I'm going to pose to you at the end of the story. But he goes, no, you don't. And she's like, no,
I'm
seriously.
telling you, man, right now there's a dick in your girlfriend's mouth.
Yeah. And she goes, no, seriously, I have to do this for you. You've been so kind. He's like, I don't want you to suck my dick. And she goes, what, you think I'm ugly or something? And he's like,
what?
They spend the next 40 miles fighting about the fact that she's insulted that he won't let her suck his dick. And finally they get to downtown LA, and she's like, yeah, this is good. And he goes, where should I drop you? She's like, anywhere. And he just drops this fucking weirdo off in the middle of downtown LA, and she just scurries off into the night.
She took umbrage. She took umbrage.
She did. She bled menstrual fluid all over this motherfucker's
His
car.
passenger seat.
So here's the question. You're not married, okay? You're married now.
I'm not married.
Would you have gotten your dick sucked?
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah, it's not. It's not even an argument.
Doug?
I don't even. This is
Doug?
Absolutely yes.
Honestly, real talk?
I don't know.
Because the answer is yes for me.
Is it really?
Yes,
No, it's
the answer
not.
is
The
yes.
answer is probably yes.
The answer is yes. Because you know what I mean? Just like
I'd be so grossed out.
Yeah.
maybe I would too, but I would man up and I would do it.
That's the one difference in terms of sexual encounters that you and I have, which is you have a real dirtbag streak, and I just don't. I still have an ego. Where I'm like, come on, I can't be fucking a 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, you think she was a 4?
I don't.
She was probably a 0.5.
Yeah, but when no one's looking.
I'm saying a 4. But I'm saying a 4. To
me, I think it's erotic how horrible it is.
I wouldn't be able to get a boner.
I bet you would.
A proper boner? No.
I
really wouldn't, because I'd just be thinking about disease.
That's it. That's my. I'm just like, because there's saliva involved.
Yeah.
Can you get a disease from a blowjob?
I don't know.
She'd be the one to do it.
Yeah.
If you can,
if you can, it's Sally Ride Along.
What if you said yes and you're like you subjugated your own words? You said yes and then you look down, Keegan. You look down.
You can't pop a boner.
And it's Steve. It's fucking Steve.
You know what? I might make Steve do it after the ordeal. I was going to say Steve.
Yes. Yeah, Steve had offered you a blowjob.
All right, Steve. You're down there smoking crack anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just Steve.
Yeah.
I had a friend who she hitchhiked. She was hitchhiking years ago, and I can't believe she got picked up by this dude, and they started going down this road. It was one of those like in a movie, going down a main road and turned. She said off onto a country road, and she literally turns to this guy and she goes, it was the best acting. She's an actress and she's the best acting job she'd ever had done in her life. She said, I started
Hello,
talking.
how are you doing?
And
Can
didn't
I
stop
tease in,
talking
please?
for 8 straight minutes about how I'm in a cult. I'm in a flesh-eating cult. I'll find, my friends will find you. We have psychic powers. They'll find you. We'll destroy you. We'll murder you and cook your flesh. And she just went on and on and on. And she actually did. She scared the guy. Like she said, and she scared him so much. She said, "Now take me back to the main road. Take me back to where you picked me up." And she spooked him so much he did it.
Wow.
He literally, she said, I'm a witch. I'm a witch. I'm a witch. And she freaked him out and made him take her ass back to the main road.
Moshe would have just raped her. That's how fucking.
That's how dirtbag he is. Dirtbag. What a dirtbag degenerate.
I wouldn't have wanted to rape her, but for the story, you understand.
For the story, you need it. You need it. Yeah.
Okay, this is a great question you bring up. What's the closest to death we have all been What's the closest to being killed that all of us have been in? Do you have a good story?
Well, for me, I'm trying to let me think. Let's see if Neal has a story, because for me, the closest really for me was I was in Greece.
Yeah.
I was in Greece with my a professor of mine. We were doing like a study abroad program, and we were in Crete, and he said his wife and my friend who I was traveling with, they went over this hill, and we went down by this sea cave, and he's like, "Oh, look here, look here." And, oh boy, if only I would have bought him a fucking scuba gear. And there was, water spouting out from the sea cave, and he goes, "Now that means that there's oxygen in there. That means it's a cave. Like it goes like this." And he's like, "We're going in there." I'm freaking out. I'm like, and he's my professor. I'm like, I can't. Well, how am I? I don't know how to get around to the other side where they are. He dives in there. The water spits out. It spits out. He dives in. I'm in the cave. Come on. The second it spits out, you just come on. So
he's all right.
He's in the cave.
You can hear him yelling.
I can hear him yelling, like echoing in the cave.
Right.
Just when it comes out, you jump in. So the water spits out. I dive in. Now I don't think of the fact that I'm swimming into a cave.
You don't think that and also that you're black and you can't swim.
What was I doing anyway in a fucking island nation?
You can half swim.
Half of it. I can do the basket stroke.
That's right.
It's just the side stroke.
The wigger
and only on my right side. And literally, he goes, so I dive in, I do a surface dive, I go under, and then I open my eyes underwater, stings, salt, and then can't see shit.
Awful.
So I go up, I start to panic, I go up, boop, hit my head on the top of the cave, which then makes me think, oh no, there's no clear point in this cave. I'm going to die here. My mother's going to, they're not going to recover the body. I'm done.
Right.
And then came up, and then Arthur's like, it's amazing. Is it amazing? My professor. And I was like, yeah, I wanted to kill him.
Yeah.
I bet.
I wanted to kill him. And then we have no idea how deep it is. We have no idea if there's, we're in the middle of an ocean. We're in the Aegean Sea. And then we're fucking treading water. And he goes, we're just going to wait here a while and scare the girls. I'm like, I just don't think that's a good idea. We should probably just swim toward the lagoon. And then we finally slammed it. But I thought I was dead. No, that was it. Other than that fucking 14-year-old kid who gave Steve that crack, that was the 2 moments. I'm like, no, I'm dead. When he said 6 VCRs, dead. We're dead. How can you furnish anybody with 6 VCRs?
What if you had been in that cave and that dude had popped up
and then Steve's
like, where are my VCRs?
Hey man, here's the problem, man.
Hold on. What did the crack dealer say in response to 6 VCRs?
This is what he said. He looked back at the house, then looked back at Steve, and he goes, all right, Dan.
No.
All right, Dan. And then walked away.
That's the worst crack dealer of all time.
If Steve sounds like a dependable VCR,
white kid, a white moron.
Yeah.
And apparently is a return customer. He was a return customer to this crack addict.
Yo, no, don't flash on me, dude. I know that I gave him the crack, but he seemed like a dude that could get 6 VCRs.
He tricked that motherfucker in the car to pick his ass up outside of Murray.
You don't know Steve.
Y'all don't know Steve, man. Steve is a charmer.
That's VCR Steve.
Steve is a straight charmer. He will hook your shit up with a Samsung, nigga, right up quick.
He got a black dude to drive him somewhere. Let me put this in context.
Yeah, that's funny.
He's a snake charmer.
A black snake.
Everyone has a story.
Neal, what do you got?
It's not a very narrative story, but I almost got run over by a train.
Well, I almost
did you really?
got run over by a train too.
Like goofing around as a kid?
Yep.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Doug, what do you got?
Closest to death, Doug.
It's hard to say because I had some close.
So many times.
I had some close calls, but I don't know. Maybe they weren't close at all. Like one time, I was on a plane and the engine blew up.
Whoa!
Whoa!
But like,
it's hard to say. You know
That's
what
a close call.
One time I shot myself in the temple, but I don't have any.
No, but no one was in danger because we all jumped off the plane before it flew.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense.
We slid down the yellow thing.
The yellow thing.
I fucking slid down
little
that.
more detail.
For real, slid down that yellow inflatable thing.
The
emergency thing. The emergency slide.
Wow.
You said that the engine blew up.
Yeah, we were ramping up to take off. All of a sudden, boom, and then it goes. Then the plane just comes to a halt, and we're sitting there silent.
Oh my God!
We're sitting there silent.
What kind of plane is it?
737, like a passenger
It's
plane?
a big United
Airlines-
standard
Where are you
commercial
going?
airline,
Like a
from,
Boeing 737.
like DC
Six
to like
across,
LA or something.
6 people across, 8 people
8
across.
people across.
Probably
Why are you
more
guys
like.
this detail centric?
Well, we're just
It wasn't the real big one. It was the twin engine. The very common.
so
Yeah.
6 across.
I don't-
3 seats on this side and 3 on this side.
Probably something like
Stewardesses are hot or they're older? Like which kind of
that. They're
stewardesses?
gay.
Okay.
Gay men.
Gay
Because
men.
I remember that very clearly because the steward. Steward?
The steward.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Steward man.
The steward
The steward
was
yes.
like,
It's
ladies and
6 feet.
gentlemen, our one of our engines blew up. Please exit the plane right now. Get out the emergency doors immediately.
He
Leave
said
your
he's-
belongings and go out now.
He said one of the engines blew up.
Yeah.
He said the words blew up.
Whoa.
One of the engines.
That makes me
blew up.
afraid currently. And
Right
this is
now.
in the past.
But it didn't blow up. It just like failed or something. It just
Wow.
popped and like it didn't explode.
Oh my God.
I'm not
That
going to
doesn't-
Detroit this
doesn't scare
weekend.
me at all. I don't know
Interesting.
why this just doesn't it just sounds like
I was like completely like lucid and clear and
No,
calm,
I
and I was
didn't
like grabbing. I was like taking my stuff for a few. Everyone's like, "Okay, well, I guess we gotta go." And then he goes, "Get out now! I'm serious. Leave your stuff." And then
Whoa.
he panicked.
So he
The
was
steward panicked.
Wow.
So then, like, I think I might have even opened the door. It's like, I might have been in the emergency thing.
you
I
were in the
did
emergency,
it. I calmly got out, and when I'm standing like out in the middle
I love
of the.
how he couches his story as I may have almost. It's like no, you almost died.
You almost died.
story.
What if you had been? If that had happened 2 minutes later?
No, but
you're gone.
No, we're not, because
Yep,
they can
yep.
fly with one engine.
But not with one on fire.
A commercial air.
They can fly with one.
They
engine.
they're like triple
Yeah, they can.
redundant safe.
Oh, they can.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
That's
then
not-
we
it's not-
were
it's not a good
I was like
flight.
running away. I was running away
Like
from
this.
the plane like into the grassy like middle of the
Like the berm between the tarmacs.
yeah, and I'm thinking like this thing's gonna blow up behind me like straight out of the movies.
Right.
Is this before 9/11?
I was ready to jump and like put my hands behind my head.
Yeah.
The Harrison Ford.
Was it before 9/11?
I think it was after.
Oh,
wow.
Jeez, oh Pete.
Jeez, Pete, you heard it here
Pete.
first, folks.
watch your language.
Yeah, seriously.
I had another scary.
operation here.
I have 2 scary plane
Go
stories.
for it.
God
Yeah.
damn it.
The one time I was coming back from Colorado, coming into Chicago where I used to live.
Yeah.
And it was like, in the middle of the winter, so it's like shitty weather.
Jeez,
And we were
Pete.
kind of circling around.
Sorry, I'm just trying it out. I'm seeing if it works for me.
I didn't like it
Yeah,
for you.
okay, sorry.
I didn't hate it.
I'm not sure he liked it for me.
He's my co-pilot on this magic carpet ride.
Okay, so we're flying around, and then the plane just goes, it like shuts off. Lights are out.
You're flying.
Silence.
You're in the air.
We're in the air, yeah.
Whoa.
We're circling O'Hare or Midway, whatever
It's
airport.
Like
Turns
10,000
off?
feet. So you're at
We're up there high. We're coming in for an approach.
Turns off?
It just like zaps, zink, and then like silence, like
Oh.
engines off, everything off, and then everyone is completely silent and shocked.
Oh God.
And then the plane's like, like turns back on, and the pilot's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, we had." That's a common thing. I don't know what he said. He made it sound. He made it sound like it was no big deal. He goes, "We just had a static discharge."
A static.
And then I go, I just had a discharge in my pants.
No, you didn't.
And that was like
you had jokes in that
I
moment.
had jokes in that moment, and everyone around me was like this big release of tension.
Everybody.
All these
laughed.
like ladies were laughing around me. I had ladies laughing.
That's
that
dope.
night. That was.
That's great.
Doug
and
got-
then I was like, I could be a comedian one day.
That's so funny that you started those 2 stories by like, I mean,
nothing big. I mean,
Yeah, but
blew up on the plane I was
also
on.
like maybe there was no real danger.
Yeah, you're right. So I was once in an airplane. The guy, it was like a Cessna, a little one.
Yeah.
And the guy went.
Don't
he
go
went
in
up-
those
He went
planes.
up and he nosedived. Like he's like, watch this, and turned.
Watch this.
And put the plane like 100% like down angle. Does that
Who
make
was
sense?
this
guy?
It was a friend of mine who was a pilot. He's like, you want to go on a this is
Cessna?
pre 9/11.
Check this out, baby girl.
We flew right up to the Transamerica building in San Francisco and like circled around it, but like 100 to like 500 feet away. I mean,
Oh man.
you couldn't do that now. And he goes, check this out, and just nosedives the plane and turns it off.
Check this out,
And we
baby
just
girl.
start going, woo! And we're all screaming.
Turns
and
the
then
plane
he just
off?
goes, and then there's some trick that they can do where the plane just, when they write it back up, it automatically turns
itself back on.
itself back on. And that was like a trick that they
He
did.
didn't inform me of that.
big problem.
So,
Did
but the
you
closest
want to punch him in the face?
I was just like having fun. But
You were.
well, yeah, I liked it. What was really funny was there was this.
Secondarily.
There was me and my brother and this Israeli army guy. We were the 3 passengers, and the Israeli army guy was like, "Hey, you guys have not." Palestinian down. He was like, you guys have not experienced.
You see how easy it was for the Jew to say, for the Jewish guy
Palestinian
to say Palestinian down,
So-
right? Like literally gunshots. Palestinian.
That's the first thing that came to his mind.
That's what I think about. That's what I think about.
It meant nothing.
He goes. He's like,
And also that I called you the Jew.
The Jew.
Do you see what the Jew did?
Look over this.
So he goes, the Israeli dude's like talking so much shit. He's like, I was in the army. This is nothing to me. I've been through this before. And me and my brother are like, okay. And then when he does the trick, the Israeli army guy's like, please turn it back on. And me and my brother are like laughing. Like, we're like, yay, machismo
Everybody
fail.
just talked shit. Yeah. Oh, that's terrific.
That's a joke.
So the closest to death I ever came was there was this kid Jesse, well, I won't say his full name, but this crazy kid that
Already, Jesse's enough.
That shit's some Bay Area shit, Northern California.
This dude who was like kind of mentally off, and we all hung out with him, and he would like punch people, and he was just really out of control. So we all took mushrooms one day.
Oh man, and Jesse too.
The weird thing to remember is that Jesse didn't eat any of the mushrooms, but he smoked some, which doesn't do anything to you.
Sure.
But we're all fucked up on mushrooms. It's the most high on mushrooms I've ever been. I remember we went to this mall, and I felt my body kind of go like, and like I bent in two, and I was like not going to be able to walk. I was so high. And we got into the car, and we're driving back from the mall, and so much other weird shit happened. But all of a sudden, we're going like 85 miles an hour down the freeway, and Jesse, the guy who's driving the van, throws his hands up in the air and screams, "Ah! I forgot how to drive! I forgot how to drive!" And we just start careening across traffic. And me and my boy, my best friend, also named Jesse, I was so high on mushrooms, I was like, oh my god. And I turned to Jesse, my best friend, for like help. Like,
in my head, I could survive this if I was on mushrooms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I just turned to Jesse, my best friend, not the guy driving, and I'm like, what do we do? And Jesse's laughing. He's also on mushrooms.
Yeah.
Laughing maniacally. And I'll never forget, he goes, are you ready to die, bro? And I just, for some reason, he was so influential to me and such a leader at that time that I just was like, yes. And we just went like, and sort of browned out, and we just woke up, and he was driving.
On the deadly streets of Oakland.
And he was just driving, and he had somehow come back to everything was fine.
Oh my god!
But it did happen though.
I was going to say that was my question. Is it true that it happened? Is it true that it actually happened?
Maybe you were sitting on a park bench.
Right, the entire time.
They were
driving.
There were two people named Jesse. They looked the same. They talked the same. One wanted to die. One was driving. No, that was.
Oh my god!
That was a crazy.
If this is on a highway or just
Oh my god!
On a highway in Concord, California.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, yeah,
Of course.
there wasn't any place for you to really crash. But
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
Did you tell your death story?
yeah,
Yeah.
I remember Steve,
And
then
the
the cave in Crete.
Oh yeah.
Neal's was really quick though. It's like, yeah, one time I was on
it's
off
like-
my bike once.
it's-
Anyway, what do you got?
I could tell.
Fell off my bike once.
I could tell you. I could tell you another crazy near-death story.
Yeah, go.
So me and my friends, we were all. Both of these stories are in the book, but me and my friends were. We lived right by the tunnel that separated Oakland from Contra Costa County.
Oakland, California.
And we lived right by the tunnel that separated the suburbs from the city. And there was a fence with crazy hurricane, barbed wire and stuff, and to get into the tunnel. And my friend one day was like, dude, I heard there's like this little room in the tunnel, and if we go in there, we sneak in there, we could go in the tunnel, we could tag, and we could smoke, and we could get high, and blah, blah, blah. So I'm thinking, no. But everybody else is like, yeah. So I'm like, yeah, I'm down. And we start going. Oh, first they go. We climb this fence. We throw a carpet over the barbed wire. We climb the fence. And we jump over. And I'm kind of fat at the time. I'm like a chubby kid. And the guy DJ whose idea it was, he goes, "Yo, fat ass, back of the line. You're gonna slow us up." So fat ass complies. I go to the back of the line, and we start. We walk into this BART train tunnel, the subway tunnel.
Right.
And it's like a 1 foot long walkway. I mean, it's like as one body. We're walking single file into the thing, and we're walking. It's completely dark. We walk far enough that the light behind us is totally gone, and we're walking along, just kind of feeling the side of the tunnel. And all of a sudden, we all of the air kind of goes whoop, and sucks out of the tunnel, and it gets like hot. And then we hear beep, 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 and a single two lights start coming. Obviously, we were like, somebody screams, which is now obvious. Train! And the train fucking comes, and it's and we're on this. I mean, we hug up against the wall of this tunnel, and the train comes, and it's just like whoosh, 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 whoosh.
Oh shit!
I mean, it's like a foot away from me. I could see people.
Did you not know where you were? Did you not know that
you were on a BART track?
Yeah,
no, we knew. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
We just thought we'd be able to beat the train because it had just gone, but there was another one coming or whatever. And it was like I could see people in the window.
Oh, God.
I mean, literally, I couldn't have put my arm all the way out without it being taken off. The train starts screeching to a halt because they've seen us, right? The conductor saw us. Like, what are these fucking 9 wiggers doing in our tunnel?
In a wigger basket.
And
a deluxe.
It starts screeching to a halt, and all of a sudden, and it stops. And the train conductor, we can see him like look out.
Yeah.
And this guy DJ screams, "Run!" So everybody turns and starts to run. Well, guess what's happening now?
Fat ass is in the front.
Fat ass is in the front of the fucking line. And I'm like, this is so unfair. I'm running, and there's all the backdraft from the sucked in air.
Yeah.
So I'm like running against this train.
And also the backdraft that you were generating from your fucking fatness.
From my flab. And all my friends are screaming, "Run, you fucking fat ass, run!" And I'm like,
As well they should.
And I'm trying so hard, like, and I'm running against the wind, and we pop out of the train tunnel. I'm like, it's like this crazy urban Stand By Me situation.
Yeah.
I turn back. The train took off because they saw us running, and I turn back and I see Jesse.
The train's like, they're gone. Like, what was the guy gonna do?
Get out of the train.
We'll never catch him. I thought we had a chance when I just stopped a BART train in the middle of the tunnel.
So we're getting out, and I look back, and Jesse, the same guy, you ready to die, bro, has jumped down onto the tracks and is like looking for something. I turn to him, I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
You're very retarded.
And I'm like, you're very retarded. And Jesse looks up, he's like, dude, I dropped the weed. And I'm like, let's go. And he's like, dude, it's weed. And he like looks, he finds the weed, and we climb back over, and we're like, shaking with adrenaline, and we crawl into this little playground play structure, and we sit in this little cubicle, this little cube, like a wooden cube, and we smoke weed and like let our adrenaline calm down. And that was another time that I almost died.
Keegan, you're on a show.
We haven't even brought up
I almost wanted to not even talk about it, which would have been hilarious.
Talk about the show.
Yeah, you plug your show because it's a great show.
Yeah. But also, I mean, I got a lot of questions. If you haven't seen it, it's Key Peele on Comedy Central.
Tuesdays at 10:30. Tomorrow's season finale.
This will air after that.
Oh, this will air after that. Okay.
But yeah.
But go back and watch
they'll rerun the fuck out of it.
Right.
Take my word for it.
Key and Peele.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, they're coming back.
They're coming nowhere.
Key and Peele.
Right, so you walk us through you guys were on Mad TV.
We were on Mad TV together, and we wrote a lot of scenes together on Mad, and then I left, and we were doing
successfully. Like, did you get stuff on?
We got tons of stuff. We got tons of stuff on Mad. Yeah, we did
writers and writer performers.
As writer performers, and No, he writes more than I. I mean, he's more of a heavy lifter. He writes more than I do. So he got a lot of stuff on as a writer and a writer performer. But he and I, whenever we collaborated, it was always to perform these certain characters. And we did pretty well. And then I went off and I did Reno, and I did a sitcom on CBS, and he did a pilot for Fox. So the pilot didn't get picked up, and my sitcom got canceled. And so we were both free, and we had the same manager. And our manager said, there's some interest at Comedy Central. And so we went and pitched. We pitched it. We pitched kind of like a half sketch, half narrative show, much more like Michael and Michael Have Issues.
Right.
And they just wanted a sketch show.
That's so crazy because the conventional wisdom at Comedy Central is always, they don't want a sketch show. That's cool.
Right.
That's
but they wanted to take the gamble, and so and then we did the pilot, and the pilot tested well, and then they said, we're going to pick it up for 8. And
let me ask you this, and I hope this isn't a weird question, but do you think that it did help that you guys were a black team, that both of you were black? That was their niche that they wanted to.
I'll tell you, even more than that, and this has been a hard thing. They've been pushing, and now
because I'm a black guy, right?
They've done a second set of focus groups, and a lot of people in the second set of focus groups said, so it kind of seems to me like it's just black comedy. Can they I love it if they did more biracial comedy, which of course is not a thing that exists.
Right.
Wait. They want.
This is the most sophisticated focus group of all time.
Exactly. Like, I mean, it'd be fun. I'd be interested in seeing them do some more biracial comedy.
But it is a lot of biracial. I mean, it is.
It is. I mean, and a part of it is I'm going, well, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, we're half black and half white. I mean, it's flipping between two cultures,
and it is actually biracial comedy. Weird. I mean, in its voice.
Right, in its voice, yeah. And so it's been that was an interesting thing. But I think that I think you're right. They might, to answer your question.
Yeah.
They were saying, Comedy Central was saying, we like the biracial angle, whatever that is. That's what we'd like to go for. But I will say this, and Jordan says I agree. Jordan says this all the time, and I completely agree. I don't know that we would have this show if Obama wasn't the president.
Huh. That's
because
I agree. I don't think you would have the show if you were 3 shades darker or lighter.
Or lighter. No, I agree with you.
You know what I mean? Like it is that weird like historical thing where it seems like especially I don't know.
I hear what you're saying.
Especially or so, I don't know. Like
it's saying it's. No, I think that you're right. It's interesting. It's that sense of we both sit in that same pocket shade wise,
right?
And there's this thing. Oh no, they wouldn't be relevant if they were high yellow,
right?
What? You only know about high yellow?
No.
I mean, it's a skin a black dude.
Or
I mean,
high yellow is a black. It's a term of the
Is
black
that a
dude.
Vegas card game?
Gotta get smoking.
Light skin black guy.
But I mean, you're
technically,
biracial.
Like a high yellow black would be a person that you would say is an African American, not a mixed person, an African American who's of the lightest shade. Think, well, I was at Lynn Whitfield, but there's that one actress who's
Lena Horne.
Lena Horne. She's a woman who's alive today, and I can't. You don't know her name, but you've seen her in a million movies. And
Wanda
she's like
Sykes.
High yellow. A million movies.
The girl from Precious.
Wanda Sykes. But and then of course, what's weird, Doug, is that as you get darker, you're less valued. So like in my grandmother's family. My grandmother just got shit on as a little girl.
Tell Doug the brown paper bag thing.
Well, the brown paper bag thing.
Do you know about that? It's from the paper bag test. It's
the paper bag. When you get into Spelman and Morehouse, in order to get into Spelman and Morehouse in like up until the 50s
or something.
I thought it was clubs.
70s.
I thought it was clubs in Harlem. I thought it was dance clubs in Harlem.
It was Morehouse and
You
Spelman.
have to be the color of brown paper bag.
or lighter.
Brown paper
or you have to be
bag,
lighter.
skin color, or lighter.
Right. You would have to actually send in a picture of yourself with a brown paper bag with your application. That part's not true. That part isn't true.
Yeah.
No. Come on. Come to the mic. Come to the mic. Ladies and gentlemen, intern.
Truth. Debut truth.
All right.
And
what are you fucking?
That's all it is.
That's what a fucking poetry reading.
Don't pontificate. Just tell the story.
Debut truth. Yeah, there you go.
Hello?
Yeah, you're right. You're live.
Mama, I made it.
Blackwell Cooper, everybody.
Blackwell Cooper.
It's
in his name. It's in his name. He's black and he's well.
Nice Coop.
I didn't have shit to say.
But
High yellow.
You're over there saying, yeah.
Yeah, no. You had to send the picture like to Howard and everything.
You literally had to send a picture with your application.
With your application, they would go, and they put you up to a brown paper bag. That's how it works.
Wow.
If you go look at all photos at Howard and all those like universities, it's all light-skinned people.
So everyone is our shade or lighter.
Or lighter.
Or our shade or lighter. And I'm lighter than you. I'm a little lighter than you, like a little bit.
And I'm lighter than both of you guys.
And Doug, and then of course there's
Is that why I like you more than him?
That's probably it. That's probably it.
Just kidding.
Hey, Blackwell. Hey, truth.
Blackwell, come on.
Truth. And then there's the one drop theory.
I'm not going anywhere.
But my dad used to always say, you have one drop. That's the one drop theory. You have one drop of black blood, you're black. No matter what the other, no matter what the other parent is. So that's always been the, But that answers if that answers your question.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's fascinating, actually. Yeah, I like that.
Doug, how do you feel about that?
Well, that's not fair.
Yes, truth.
That brown paper bag thing is crazy. Why the brown paper bag? I mean, why is that?
It's like It's the most. It's the most
middle.
Well, it's a pleasing shade. It's still a pleasing shade. But I think we the thing is, black culture not a monolith. And we try to just kind of do our comedy the way we want to do it, and then we get flack all the time from black people, certain types of black people.
Oh yeah, how are you guys black enough?
Oh no, what it is we're it's not that we're ashamed of our blackness, it's that we're don't tap, Keegan. Don't tap. It's that black people. Why are you always portraying black people as the butts of all of the jokes? First of all, I love when people use superlatives like all, never, and always.
Sure. Yeah.
But always the butt of every joke. And then part of me says, first of all, what would you have me do?
Are these just people on
it's Twitter, folks, and then
so it's
just bullshit. And then
but it's not. Is it like is anyone legitimate? Not like there's any like what did the Root say?
No, right. You on Twitter and Facebook? I don't know. I don't know. Like there's certain, like Dag likes it, and
what about? Sorry.
You go ahead.
I was just curious about like great black thinkers, have you been ever criticized by a Cornel West type of?
Well, that's the thing. We don't know yet what what Tavis or Dr. West think yet. And
I would bet that they like it.
I would think so too. And then my friend, one of my dearest friends, she grew up. Her father is a professor of African American studies at Eastern Michigan University, and he's lectured at U of M, University of Michigan, and. You saw the slave sketch we did, right? We were I was concerned. Her husband is one of the guys at the auction, and I said, Josh, you want to do this piece? And he said, yeah. I'm like, what's with the sigh? And he goes, well, my father-in-law's not going to like it because my friend, his wife,
was the lead guy white. He was
the auctioneer was white, and then all the guys buying us were white, and he was one of the guys buying us.
Okay.
So his father-in-law, my friend Naima's father, one of the founders of Kwanzaa.
Whoa.
One of the people that started Kwanzaa.
He's the only person that celebrates it, too, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And I said to her the other day, she says, honey, I just want you to know, our whole family, everybody is so proud of you. And I said, literally, your dad? She goes, oh, yeah. And I said, your dad and the slave sketch. And she goes, he loved it. What about the Martin Luther King, Malcolm X sketch? He loved it. He loved them both.
Funny as fuck.
And she thanks. And she
I didn't see that. But
she said it's a sketch where there's two actors doing a play called Lunch of Greatness, and it's like The Meeting. So it's two actors playing Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, and they get on stage, and like a black audience, like call and response.
Right.
And even when you're not supposed to have call and response, it exists anyway. So they're performing, and every time there's some kind of poignant platitude, the audience will go, yes, Lord. Uh-huh. And then Malcolm X says something. Oh, and then Martin says something, and they keep responding.
Right.
Then Malcolm X, I play Malcolm X.
Of course you did.
I play the actor playing Malcolm X. He has a line that doesn't warrant. It's just exposition. It doesn't warrant applause, and it's silent. And then Malcolm gets some cheers, and then another line, and then Martin gets cheers, and then Malcolm X, the actor, can't take it anymore.
Right.
So he starts making up lines that are going to be uplifting and poignant until they start fighting each other.
Right.
And they get to the point where I think I'm on the ground doing the worm, and
that's
and
funny.
he's going west. So it leaves the platitudes of the '60s, and we should start becoming shameless. And I start saying things like, my hope is that one day a black man might be the president of the United States of America, and they lose their minds, and they go, hopefully for 8 years, and they lose their minds, and they go, Obama 2012. I mean, it's just like all pretense is out the window. They're not even pretending to be in the play anymore.
That's funny.
And some guy, and I don't know why I take it seriously, but some guy tweets, and he's like, I just find that scene that y'all had done really disrespectful.
I find the voice you're doing.
To be fair, that is literally what you guys
was he compared to a paper bag? Where was he on that?
Darker. He was an oak bag. The other question that everybody asks is about Dave.
Oh yeah,
That's
where is
always where.
Do you guys know where he is?
We don't know. He's not called us and told us.
What?
We don't know where he is. And that was, it's like, but how do you feel about being compared to Dave Chappelle? What? I feel good.
Why would I care?
It feels great. It was a fantastic show. Once again,
I think you did great.
It was. But Jordan always says this, and I think, what do you think of this, guys? So Jordan goes, a lot of those comments that we would receive, he goes, but you know what? If we were Dave's shade, or if we were no, it's not that. It's not even that. If we had ever said, like the first episode out of the gate, the first thing you hear us utter is, okay, so Jordan and I are biracial. It's the first thing you hear us say. Mm-hmm. It sets the tone and the mood for the show. And he goes, I always wonder what would have happened if we had not led with that.
Interesting.
I would love to know what the comments would have been.
But a lot of it becomes press. It becomes like
that becomes the thing.
That's the thing.
Do you feel that you did that? And I don't mean this disrespectfully.
No.
Do you feel did that? I can't think of a better word than defensively. Like
this is very disrespectful.
As an explanation to what was about to occur in your show, or do you think that was just? atone. You know what I'm saying? Like as if to create a world for you to do what you want without being criticized.
It's the latter. It's the latter. But what was interesting was, you know, our costume designer, or her fiance, she's white and her fiance is black, and he watched the pilot. Remember him watching the pilot, and he said, "Huh, that's smart." She goes, "That's smart."
Yeah.
It's because once you do that, I don't care. I mean, you can meet the most niggerish motherfuckers, and they'll just be like, "Man, leave these two niggas alone. Let them do this shit." Because they have black. They can make fun of everybody.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Blackwell? You were about to say something. You were gonna comment.
You're half white? No, I'm being serious.
Yes,
I was outside.
I
use that in like real life. Like I lead off with conversations like, "Oh, and my mom, she's white."
And Jordan
her name's
didn't.
Becky. I swear to God.
I say the same thing. I say my mom's white.
No, all the time. Like, it lowers. Like if I go to like nice shit, I'll make sure. Like even if I'm in a suit,
yeah.
Like,
it's appropriate to say it because it helps.
Like my mom, Becky Sue.
Becky Sue is not your mom.
Swear to God, from Iowa.
From Iowa, and my mom's Patricia from Northern Illinois. That's interesting.
I think that you're better. I think that you're by saying we're biracial. I think it helps. I don't see it as being sort of. I don't see it as any sort of. I know watching it. If you guys were both black, my fangs would be out.
Really interesting.
I'd be like, okay, let's see what you got, motherfucker.
Okay, I see.
But because you're mixed, I'm like, it's a different thing.
It's a different thing. Oh, that's a good way of saying it, because that's how.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, it is. But you're right. I think it's you see it in a different package, or you look at the package in a different light.
It's also fascinating that you're white, Neal. And I'm not talking shit.
I know.
It's interesting the role you play in this world.
I would be looking at black comics like, all right, motherfucker, what you got?
Wait, why you got your fangs out with the black guys?
Because he did the preeminent sketch show.
We have the crown.
They do. I mean, that's the thing. They have the crown, and that's why I think Comedy Central, when they said they have interest, and Comedy Central say we can have interest in these two guys because it's going to be something different. Because in my opinion, I mean, what Neal's
perpetuating that brown paper bag thing, because like if they were darker than a brown paper bag, he's like, oh, what the fuck is these guys?
No,
they're lighter than the brown paper bag. He's like, okay, they're cool, whatever they want to do.
It's Neal's internalized racism.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
By proxy.
I'm like a bougie black person.
But that's interesting to hear you. And as also, I was so amazed when I was like, absolutely, I want to do Neal Brennan's podcast because I want to talk about this stuff. You know what I mean?
We're also members of the podcast. It's not a big deal.
Oh, I'm sorry,
it's no big deal.
Who? My fingers are crying. It's interesting to hear you say that. That's
and the
fascinating.
reason they sent me the pilot to see if I want to direct it, and I didn't because I didn't for two reasons. I didn't want to be like, hey, I could do black. I also knew if I did it, it would be from me. And it would fuck
Relative
you guys.
newcomer Neal Brennan.
It would fuck you guys. It would be like, oh, the Chappelle Show guy did a show with you guys. It's not good for you guys. And then I also didn't want to be. If you had been 2 shades whiter, I would have done it. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
It's some random sketch show.
Yeah, right. I don't want to be the fucking black sketch show.
And you're probably, I think you're right, Neal. You're probably better off. I mean, who knows if it would have happened or not, but you're probably better off, would have been better off with not having Neal.
It's the thing. It's
the connection.
Yes, I think you're right. No, you're right. You're absolutely true.
I literally was going to call you guys just to explain, like, look, here's why.
Yeah. I shouldn't be the racist. Yeah.
So this is actually, to me, very fascinating.
Oh, me too.
Between the two of you.
It's so I wanted to hear your insight.
No. This is why I set this up. Go ahead.
As of last week, I saw Chappelle. He hadn't seen it.
He's not seen it.
He hasn't seen it. He hasn't seen a frame of it.
I can't wait to tell my.
No, I'm
partner.
sure it's like fucking. We wanted to know, like, hey, had Eddie seen it? Like, we had fucking. I had a list of people that like. Has so and so seen it? Has like. Had Pryor seen it? Because Pryor was alive when Chappelle Show was on, so we were like,
right.
And like word got to us that Richard had seen it, and he called for Dave. It was like a big fucking deal. Yeah, like.
Is Dave just not going to see it out of principle? Like, no, I got the crown. I don't want to.
No, I don't think he watches
television.
He doesn't watch Comedy Central. I just don't. He doesn't watch. He watches weird shit on
Keegan.
TV.
Who would you like to see it besides Dave?
I mean,
who's on your list?
Really,
You're welcome.
Yeah. Really, I mean, gosh, to be honest, at the top of the list is Dave.
Yeah.
Relative newcomer Neal Brennan.
He has seen it.
But the other, I'm trying to think. Like I was so pleased when. Well, here's a funny thing. I was so pleased when Dag said he loved. He said, I gotta get my shit on Key and Peele in a tweet. But you know the big one was 3 weeks ago. A friend of mine, she Facebook left me a Facebook message. She's Hugh Laurie's makeup girl, hair girl on House.
You on Twitter and Facebook?
Hugh, she goes, oh my God, no shit. I'm leaving you this Facebook message right now. Hugh just said, Key and Peele, funniest thing on television right now.
Key and Peele.
So from Hugh, fucking Fry and Laurie?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't even know. The reason I can't get past wanting Chappelle to see it is because fucking Hugh Laurie said, I'm done.
Right.
Like, if John,
What about Barack Obama, motherfucker?
Oh, well,
that's an interesting idea too, because he's a biracial guy himself.
We got it. We went to do the NAACP Image Award luncheon. We hosted the luncheon, and then after we hosted the luncheon, or before that, we were doing red carpet and EPK stuff and everything. And this guy just sidles up next to Jordan and hands him his card, and he goes, close friends with the president. He seen it. He liked it, and then walked away.
Was it ghetto like that?
Yeah, it was a little ghetto like that.
Nice.
But we looked at the card and I go, I guess the card's legit. But the fact that he was so discreet and then slipped away makes you believe him. Like if he talked shit, you wouldn't believe him. But
it's hard for me to imagine that
how would
Obama
he not? How would he not know? How would he not know?
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. It seems like
I mean, I could imagine either.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
Yeah, I could see
it or not.
Or
I'm sure
not.
he's seen a clip.
Something, yeah, right. But that would be a big one for me. But then other than that, like if Pryor was still alive, we'd want him to see it.
Sure.
I think that I really would be interested to hear what Tavis Smiley and Cornel West.
Sure.
I don't even think. I think they'd be so positive it'd be boring. I don't like. To me, it's
interesting.
It's not even like a
thing.
It's not. There's no.
It wouldn't be a thing. It'd be like my friend's father, who's the professor. He's like, I'm an intelligent man. I understand the comedy. I understand that this slave sketch is about vanity, not about black people being slaves.
What about Bill Cosby? What do you think he would say?
Oh, you know what? I think Cosby would like it.
Mm-hmm.
He would be enough to putting it inside of the place. These boys, come on, people.
Because he doesn't like rap music and stuff.
No, I know, and I think a lot of it is because we're comedy nerds first.
Yeah,
it's like everything else comes second. For me to say, you know what? I'd love to know what Keenan thinks. Because they're doing that in Living Color. I would like to know what Keenan thinks.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, here's my bet. Knowing nothing, he doesn't like it.
That's my guess.
That's my bet. Just on some basic comedy.
On some hater
shit. If I had it, look, man. If I was doing a sketch show right now, I remember when Chappelle show was on, and like Orlando Jones' show came out, and I was like, all right, motherfucker.
Let's see.
Snoop Dogg television.
Got my dick hard like incarceration.
Wait, you think Keenan is hating, or he's seen it and actually doesn't like it?
I think he's probably seen. I bet he's seen a small representation of it.
Sure.
And has judged it
based on that.
Yeah, he's dismissed it.
Yeah, and it was funny. We saw him. We changed lots. So we left Sunset Bronson and went to Sunset Gower.
Right.
And one day we were coming home from an interview. And we turned the corner. I was going to my parking spot, and there was Keenan walking past because their offices are where our offices were. Mm-hmm. Keenan was walking past, and he said hello. We said hello to him. He said hi to us. But what was interesting is him seeing the recognition. Jordan about pooped himself. He went, "This nigga seen us. This nigga has seen us." You could tell that there was a recognition.
Oh, he recognized you, and you could feel it.
And we could, yeah. And I'm like, that's not just a hello. That's it's them.
Yeah.
And one of our writers knows.
I don't think it. First of all, let me also say that I have no fucking idea, and he may love it.
Sure. Yeah. My
guess is if I had it, I'd be like, all right, like I was saying, where I'm sure his knife is out.
What do you?
Yeah.
Think?
Yeah. And why not? And why not?
Yeah,
why not?
Yeah. And I want to ask you this, Key, but what do you think it'll be good in Living Color?
In Living Color? I have no idea.
Fill me in on this. Are they redoing the show?
They're redoing in Living Color. They're doing two
half-hour episodes.
Is Jim Carrey going to be on it?
No, it's all new people.
They're doing new cast, mostly new writers. All new writers. And I don't have any idea. I have
Yeah,
no
but
fucking
you know,
question for me.
You probably have.
I mean, if you want to answer it, I don't think you should. But if you want to answer it,
But and this is not a cop out. I swear to God, I don't know either. I don't know if the format's going to be similar.
Like.
I have no idea what it's going to look like. Is it going? Are they going to go for a nostalgia thing?
Right.
Yeah.
Are they? I mean, they informed my comedy. It's like I don't know what it's going to be.
The idea of a multi-camera black sketch show to me is like, wait, all right.
and
I don't
also
even know.
like the idea of Fly Girls, like it would look so.
Oh, they're not doing that.
I know, but like the idea, I bet you they might, dude.
I'll bet you that they won't do
I
Fly
don't
Girls.
think they will. My cousin,
it would feel so ridiculous.
My
right?
cousin. Okay, so my wife's cousin lives with us. She's 21. She's 21-year-old girl. She lives with us, and she.
See, I'll be thinking.
So she's 21, right? And we watched. You know that what is it? What's the new station? Centric. Have you seen Centric? Is a new, and they play blocks and blocks and blocks
So
of In Living Color.
Third black.
Yes, a third
network
black network. Centric,
Right.
it's called.
Right.
So I said, oh, Lane. Now watch this, honey. This is it. This is what I was talking to you about. And it was an episode from '93. So Jamie Foxx was on,
Right.
and you were, and I remember it was conspicuously like Dag was conspicuously missing.
Oh,
like there were a couple of scenes, and Jay Leggett was on at the time, and it was Jay Leggett and Alexandra Wentworth, and Jim Carrey was there. I forgot that Jim Carrey was there the whole time.
Yeah.
And Tommy. So it was now all of a sudden Dag was like, bloop, and it was Tommy and Jamie.
Right.
Oh, David Allen Greer.
David Allen Greer, Dag. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's about a rapper.
Okay. And then
Took me a while to remember that too.
And he said, and I remember
Dag's
watching
a champ,
it.
by the way.
Dag's a champ.
Yeah.
Is he a
He's one
champion?
of our champs,
Oh,
yeah.
I love it. He's the best.
Yeah.
And I remember watching it and going, wow, that's
Are you going to be funny?
dated.
No.
I mean, it's not.
Right.
Well, that's what Chris Rock says.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah. No, I know.
He
what
says,
you're saying.
I can't imagine Fly Girls now.
I went back and watched the first season, and it's the show of my childhood.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh.
And she and my little cousin weirded out.
Yeah.
Weirded out. She's just going, huh. Well, no, she's also a dancer, so she was really kind of captivated by the Fly Girls. She goes, who does that? I said, baby, nobody does that.
Right.
They weren't doing it then. I mean,
Right.
I'm really interested to see. I'm really interested to see.
I don't. It could. I won't.
It could be
rule it out.
great.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
But the idea of a black multi-camera sketch show I haven't seen since like.
In Living Color.
Cedric.
And then, so what? How did you find How did you find the process of making a TV show that you're the face of and you're in charge of and everything's on you? How did you like that?
The biggest, the one thing that I didn't like was that we didn't get to write. We spend so much time producing and rewriting and doing rewrites for the writers.
Stop banging.
What is with me and the banging?
Well, we're the showrunners of this show, so that's our one note is no banging.
It's just please stop banging.
Okay, so you once. How
You're not
long did
funny.
you guys
You're
write?
annoying.
How long did you guys write for before?
We wrote for about 7 months. Oh, jeez, Doug.
That's the worst of
you
the drops.
cricketed your boss.
He's not our boss.
I love it.
Yeah, he's my boss.
Oh, God.
He's not Moshe's boss.
There's only one person here who has a boss.
Blackwell.
Intern. We're all his boss.
Three bosses.
Although at this point he basically runs the show.
That's true.
right.
So true.
Father,
He booked the show tonight, so
He books all the shows. We can't live without him anymore.
We had everything. I can't say it was an absolute blast. But the thing is, we rewrote every single word of the pilot, and then once we hired staff,
Bye-bye.
You end up spending. I mean, every now and again we get to slip. Like that's why we've been doing live shows, and it's been the greatest because you can't get to us on the plane.
Yeah,
it's the only place we can write scenes anymore. Is on the planes. I love it. I'm like, let's do this gig. Jordan, I don't want to do that gig. First of all, I need the money. And then I don't want to do the gig. And then I go, but we can write on the plane. You know, and then that's where we get to shoot the shit the way we used to do.
Right.
But that's the only thing that hiccups for me is that now we hired friends, a lot of friends.
Right.
So it took a season, but now in this second season writing process, it's been great because they know the voice.
It's also
they know the voice.
Easier.
It's just easier. That's what everyone tells me. That second season and third
I didn't know
season
it was easier until we did.
Until it happened.
It was just better. I don't know if it was easier, but it was just like
you're in your
you
groove.
have an idea of what the show is.
Yeah.
And so you find production's a pain in the ass, picking locations.
Can you go here? Can we can we please skip the location scout?
Yeah.
All that's jazz. And then sometimes when you have to get out of your brain, when you say, oh, what if we set this one in a coffee house too, that we can just do all the production that one day in the same place? And you start thinking like that. And you go, don't do that.
Meaning if you have one sketch,
you shouldn't have to think about that stuff.
Exactly.
Right. But
you should not have to think about that.
But you're thinking about if you're the actor and the producer, then you'll go, wait, if we shot both, if we took that one thing that's supposed to be on a ship and put it on a coffee shop, I wouldn't have to drive from the coffee shop location to the ship location.
Yeah. I don't have to go from the van.
And I also don't have to do that on the day we're scouting locations. I won't have to do it.
Exactly.
And, dude, that's and then you get reductive that way. Where you're like,
who do you think?
Yeah.
And so when are you coming back? When are you're writing now?
It's a big in
March.
Yeah, it's a big thing. We don't know. We may have South Park as our lead-in, or we may premiere in January.
Oh, you may, but South Park's coming back now.
They're here now, and then I guess they're going to have new episodes in September as well.
Oh, got it.
And so we'll either follow them in September, which would be, I think, a great lead-in.
I would vote for that.
Yeah, or we may write and edit, then go on tour for a little bit, and then premiere again with Tosh in January.
Right.
I mean, I would prefer the.
I would vote for that because that's what happened to Sarah and Dimitri's show.
Oh yeah,
too long.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. That was our concern.
They waited 14 months.
How many months between seasons for you guys?
Well, we premiered January twice.
Yeah. And then did you feel like, Neal, that everything built? I mean, did you feel like? Was there a moment before?
No, there wasn't. Because it was like the show was popular.
Yeah,
popular.
Yeah.
And then it was, and then we wrote more, and then we shot it, and then it was popular.
So it's always like this. You never felt like there was a.
Hey, if you guys want to go, you can.
You guys are just going to start making out.
So there was never you didn't feel like there was a blow up moment.
The blow up moment was Rick James.
Was Rick James, right? Yeah,
and that was blow up moment. But it was. And the DVD from the first season came out a week after Rick James.
That's
so
right. That's right. And then you sold,
But that was a luck.
Right. Oh, that was
it wasn't
pure
like, and then Rick James is gonna. It wasn't like
they didn't know that. They didn't know that. No. And that's something some of our writers will get. Our writers will get upset about sometimes. They'll go. Well, just look on Chappelle, and they got to do the Rick James and the Prince. I said, no, we got to get that out of our head. I always want to say.
What about it?
It was that it felt like it appeared as if you and Dave then got to do whatever you wanted. You got to do whatever you wanted in the second season. So then what happens, everyone goes, yay, it's the second season, we're going to get to do whatever we want.
Right.
But then, of course, there's metrics and, there's things with the focus groups. They're like, no, you have to have this in the show and that in the show. That's what seems to have been making it work the first season.
What are the things that they think make your show work?
And one of our EPs, is Ian Roberts from the Upright Citizens Brigade. Yeah. So, there was lots and lots and lots. By the time they got to the third season on UCB, they had taken all that interstitial stuff out where they played the four people who were trying to usurp the world. And for if he had his druthers, we'd have an intro and then tons of sketches and then an outro.
No, you guys on stage helps,
and that's one big thing with them. One big thing, Jim's like, I just think that I can't do a good Jim Sharp, but he's like, I just think they like to get to know you, and apparently the focus groups have said all that.
Right. Well, that's
we love seeing them. We love getting to know them.
That's the thing that mechanics of sketch comedy people don't understand.
Yeah.
It's like the reason people on SNL. Lorne will put somebody, have them do a feature on Update so that the audience knows them.
Right.
And then they'll go into a sketch, and then and people are like,
oh, him who I got to know.
Yeah.
Oh, and look how talented he is because he plays other characters
and
too.
I'm rooting for him now because I know him as a guy, which I get with you guys, and I think Swartzen didn't do that.
He did.
It was a mistake.
It was to his detriment. Yeah.
And the episode of The Champs is perhaps where most of these people will get to know you more than ever before, because this was quite an elucidating and interesting conversation.
Well, that's
we just had.
Lovely. I love the wrap up.
Yeah.
No, this has been great. I mean, because I find this is one of those I could do for hours because I could ask you a million more questions. Yeah, you know what I mean, about what the experience is like.
We'll have you back. How about that?
I'd love to, and Jordan will come. I will get him to come if I can get to do one at 8 p.m.
Yeah,
I'll get Jordan.
We'll do it at 8. So that'll be that. next time you get Jordan to listen to this podcast, he'll get the groove, and then next time we'll have Key and Peele, and then we'll have Chappelle
Jordan's
on.
funny.
We'll find
and Dave.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
we'll force him
by during one of
We'll force him to watch your sketches a la Clockwork Orange, where they put
the thing in the eye brackets. Yeah.
I can't take it anymore, and then finally they'll just go, the show is actually really good.
Yeah, it's cool, man. What do you want? Yeah, it's cool.
It's cool. No, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
What do you want?
I'm going back to Washington.
Keegan, thanks for coming in.
You guys, thank you. It was a blast. This was really
what a pleasure.
And is it cool we just put Key?
Yeah, just Key.
I want to just put. We had the robot on, and we just put the robot.
The robot. No, just put Key. Put or you put Key and.
Key and dot.
I was gonna put
ampersand
Key and Peele, and then except no Peele.
Except no Peele.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you've been fucking with the champs. We've had the one and only Keegan-Michael Key.
Why was Keegan Key?
No.
taken?
Keegan-Michael is my actual. Keegan-Michael Key is my name. My parents hyphenated my first name. My first name is Keegan-Michael. Yeah.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
KMK in the house. Thanks, man. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, guys. Terrific.
Moshe keeps trying to get us out of here.
Jeepers.
I'm waiting on Doug. I'm waiting on Doug for this. Yeah.
Man.
Oh,
you are? Okay.
Doug, take us out.
You were just fucking with the champs.
Good night, everybody.
Great.